All right, good afternoon, everyone. Are you able to hear me? We're going to go ahead and get started. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. At this particular calendar today, we will address and set bonds for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but their cases have been formally accused and bound over to state court. Defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney today. This particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch. When I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. Are there, all defense attorneys have the opportunity to speak with their clients?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, and what is my reset date?
The reset date, Judge, will be March the 7th.
All right. Those who receive a surety or a cash bond will be reset to state all purpose on March 7th. Those who receive a signature bond, whether through pretrial or the jail, will be reset per the notice. All right. Who do we have first?
Judge, I'm sorry, I have a couple of announcements.
Okay, I have one announcement at ACDC also, Your Honor.
Okay.
Position number 2, position 10, position 17, those are waivers. Position number 4, position number 16, bond was posted.
Okay, so 4 and 16 were released. And I'm sorry, 2 is a waiver.
Position 10 is a waiver.
10 is a waiver.
And position number 17 is a waiver.
Okay, thank you. And what was the announcement at ACDC?
Ms. Hart, she needs to be interviewed.
Okay. Who represents Ms. Hart? No one represents Ms. Hart?
Stand by, Judge. They're trying to find out.
Hello, Ms. Grace. Good to see you. How are you?
Hi, Judge. Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, well, I think, hi, Mr. Walker. How are you? I guess we can go ahead and start. And if whoever will take a position that's not going to interview Ms. Hart.
We'll start with this.
Is 6?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is this Lillian Fleming?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right. Ms. Fleming, your case is 24 CR 000869. We still don't have case numbers at the end. In this case, you're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights?
You did say yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I have that history?
Who are we on?
Position 6, Lillian Fleming.
I got first arrest level 1.
Okay. Level 1 pretrial? Okay. I won't argue. Mr. Graham, please proceed.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This incident took place on February 22nd, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute at 1608 Belcourt Parkway in Roswell. Upon arrival, the officer spoke with Lillian Fleming. She advised that she had been into a physical altercation with her mother, Karen Fleming, when her mother struck her in the face, shoved her into the washing machine, and attempted to restrain her in a manner that she could be choked before threatening to kill her. The officer observed a cut lip on Lillian Fleming, also bruising and scratches on her hand. Brianna Fleming was also present. She told the officer that she was uncertain as to which of the two started the altercation, but observed the two of them hitting each other. Karen Fleming was not on the scene. She had driven to the hospital to address her injuries. Officers met with her at North Fulton Hospital. She stated that she attempted to talk to Lillian about her past behavior, and that's when Lillian grabbed her by the hair and bit her on the hand. The officer observed scratch marks on Karen's hands. Unable to determine the primary aggressor, they were both taken into custody. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, a 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Karen Fleming, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
And both parties were arrested, correct?
Correct, Your
Yes.
Honor. And Karen Fleming, the mother, she was not included on the pool sheet, so I'm still working to accuse her case. I'm not sure if she's in the courtroom. The case has not been accused, but I'll accuse at some point during this calendar. But I said that to say I'm not sure if you want to address both of them at the same time. I will be asking for the same bond for Karen Fleming, the cross defendant, as her daughter.
Is the cross defendant there?
Yes, ma'am, she's present.
Okay, Ms. McLeod, I understand you represent this defendant. Oh, Mr. Cook, you represent this defendant, and Ms. McLeod, you represent the mother?
That is correct, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Cloud represents Karen, the mother.
Okay, Mr. Howard, do you have the mother's history by any chance?
Nope.
She was
Mr.
left off
Walker,
the pool sheet, so
you don't have it either, Mr. Walker?
it's a work in progress.
I mean,
Okay,
I can get it. Hold on real quick. Hold on.
because I was gonna try to do both at once. My inclination is to give them both SOBs through pretrial, but to hear the mother's history.
I understand, and that is the state's recommendation, but I will defer to Mr. Howard.
What's the other Fleming name?
Karen,
This is third arrest. Last was 06, forgery. And before that was ag battery cruise in the first. It was NOD from 06.
okay. All right, so based upon the information before me, my inclination is to give Ms. Lillian Fleming a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial. Requires she take the 1-day anger awareness course and have no violent contact with the cross defendant. Any objection to that, Mr. Cook, or anything you'd like to add? And you're muted at courtroom 2 if you're speaking to me.
I'm sorry, am I on yet? No.
Yes, you're on. All better.
I'm not much on media. Yes, as long as we can have no further violent contact, because they live together, have lived together, so we would otherwise have a serious problem on living arrangements. But it's my client's belief that they can.
All right, it's my hope that they can get along. So that will be the ruling. And as it pertains to the mother, I'm going to give her the same bond. I know that we don't have a case number, but Mr. Walker is going to work on that. In that case, Ms. Karen Fleming will also receive a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial. She is to have no further violent contact with the cross defendant, take the 1-day anger awareness course, and both parties are to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons unless Ms. McLeod has any objection. Ms. McLeod, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, so we've taken care of both Flemings as part of this proceeding. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 8, Gaines. Yes, ma'am. I do. Woo.
All right, Ms. Gaines, your case is 24 CR 00871. You're charged with criminal trespass and obstruction. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have the history, Mr. Howard?
Judge, I'm sorry, stand by. She's represented by Ms. Holden. She's not in the courtroom. I apologize for that. Go ahead, ACDC.
All right, who do we have at ACDC?
Your Honor, Miss Alva Ranger, but I don't see her on the court calendar.
Correct, Your Honor. She was NOD, so we can go to the next defendant.
Okay.
All right, the case against you is no longer holding you in the Fulton County Jail, ma'am. Best of luck to you. All right, who do we have next?
Thanks, Your Honor. That was my other case, so my business is concluded. May I be excused?
No, Ms. McLeod, stay with us for the rest of the evening. You can't leave us. We might need you. Have a good afternoon.
I'll be on call.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Number 18, Wiggins.
All right. All right, Ms. Wiggins, your case is 24 CR 0000880. You're charged with battery, family violence. You understand, right?
Yes.
Mr. Howard, the history?
Six total. 2023 Semper Battery DV, 2023 suspended license, 2022 felony shoplifting, another 2022 felony shoplifting with the possession of marijuana, 2021 felony shoplifting, and she's already out on pretrial.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 10 Northside Drive where they spoke to the victim, Miss Angel Layler. Please forgive me, the warrant was very blurred. From my understanding, they used to reside together. They used to be roommates. They were having some type of disagreement, but the defendant did strike the victim in her face, resulting in a bruise on her the left side of her forehead. The state is asking for $1,000 surety, a no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And I would sound for Miss Angel, I don't know if it's later or Layler.
All right, Ms. Layler, if you are present, please raise your hand.
I believe it might be the lady on the iPhone. Yeah.
Do you swear in the affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge? We can't hear you.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. If you disagree with the facts Mr. Walker just stated, that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested if you are concerned for your safety and if you wish to have contact with the defendant. What would you like to tell me?
Yes, I am concerned for my safety. She was already ordered to have no contact against me. She stalked me on Instagram where she found my location and they pulled up on the restaurant I was eating dinner at and snuck me outside. It was her and someone else, and it resulted to my hair being ripped out from the scalp, and I had bruises on me, and that was that.
All right. I do appreciate you coming to court making that statement, and I do understand. Thank you. All right. Ms. Kim?
Stalked her, found her location, saw that she was
Hey,
out.
I don't know who Queen C is,
No,
but she
no,
needs
no,
to be
ma'am.
muted. She
No,
needs to be muted.
that is highly inappropriate, whoever that is. And I'm actually going to ask we put that party out of the Zoom. Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Ms. Wiggins, is 22 years old. And Your Honor, she has no objection to no contact. Indeed, she is planning to file against the complaining witness for TPO. Currently, she has been here in Georgia for the last 7 years, and she has her own booth for hairdresser. She has her own shop. She's been working there for more than 2 years. She even has an associate degree as a dental assistant. She denies the allegation. This happened on January 1st, 2024. She says that she was not even near 10 restaurants that the incident location was, and she has her boyfriend who can prove her alibi, and we would like to ask for signature on bond. She is expecting her baby, so she's not in any, she does not want to, she could not have any physical violence at this point.
Excuse me.
No, we've heard from you. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I misspoke. I said $1,000 surety bond. I meant to say $1,000 cash bond. That is due to the fact that there was a previous case where there is a no contact in order.
Okay. All right. In light of the information before me, defendant's going to receive a $5,000 surety bond. She's to have no contact with Ms. Layler. Absolutely no contact. Did the state request to stay away?
Yes, 10 North. I mean, it happened at a restaurant, but just
right.
a good measure.
But stay away from Ms. Layler's address and wherever Ms. Layler may reside. Additionally, she's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. As a reminder, she will be reset to state of purpose on March 7th. Best of luck to you, Ms. Wiggins. That concludes your case. What do we have next?
Next is position number 8. Ms. Gaines. We're going back to Ms. Gaines.
I may have to switch devices, so we may have to take a short break. Ms. Gaines, that already said she understood her rights. Is her attorney present? Yes. Okay, Mr. Howard, the history, please.
Third arrest, 2022 shoplifting, 2010 trespass battery dismissed. Jail was the recommendation.
Okay, Mr. Brown.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place February 22nd, 2024. Catherine Gaines did remain at the 5 Points MARTA station at 30 Alabama Street Southwest after being issued a criminal trespass warning in order to leave the property. She did not leave the property and snatched her hands away to avoid being handcuffed. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, stay away from the MARTA location, and in adherence to any additional MARTA bans or trespass warnings, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, in light of information before me, Mrs. High, I'm inclined to give your client a signature bond through the jail with the stay away. Any objections?
No objection. Well, Your Honor, she does state that she needs to take the MARTA to get to work. So I would ask if there's a MARTA ban, she stays away. I don't exactly understand from the warrant why she was criminally trespassed. I don't know if there's a ban, but I would say, I would ask for no stay away so that she can get to work.
What was, it was the 5 Point stations where she was allegedly criminally trespassing?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll just make her comply with any active MARTA suspensions. Defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail, $4,000 on the trespass, $1,000 on the obstruction. She's to comply with any active MARTA suspensions and have no alcohol, no drugs, and weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from this end.
All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Gaines. Who do we have next?
All right, ladies. Here we go.
Next is number 7, Mr. Ford.
Okay, Mr. Forks, your case is 24 CR 0000870. You're charged with battery, family violence, simple battery, criminal trespass, and obstruction. You understand your rights?
Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Howard.
21 total. We got a hold out of Douglas County. Open cases in the state court for battery DV, simple assault DV. Got an open case in Superior Court for ag assault. On probation out of Douglas, possession of a firearm by felony first offender. That's until 2028. 2023 FTA, 2022 probation, 2020 battery DV second subsequent terrorist threats conviction, 2015 battery DV cruelty to child conviction.
All right, Mr. Graham.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So these charges stem from 2 separate occasions. The first, January 16th, the battery family violence, law enforcement responded to 1175 Fair Street Southwest, responding to a domestic dispute. Upon arrival, they met with Michelle Williams. She advised that she had an argument with her boyfriend, Clement Forts. The argument became physical when Mr. Forts grabbed her by the shirt and then grabbed and squeezed her face with both hands, causing scratches to her nose. And on February 22nd, law enforcement responded to the same location and spoke with Ms. Williams, who advised that Mr. Forts punched her in the arm as she blocked a swing to her head. He then took her phone, threw it on the ground, causing it to shatter. Mr. Forts attempted to flee the scene once officers arrived. He continued to flee after being commanded to stop. He was identified a little while later standing near the intersection of Fair and Rosser Streets. He kept a distance from the officer. Once backup arrived, he was taken into custody without further incident. Our office has been in contact with Ms. Williams. She stated that they are in a relationship, but they were in a relationship. They no longer live together. They share no children. She confirmed the events in both of the warrants. She stated this is not the first time that Mr. Forts has been violent towards her. They have 2 open cases where she's the victim. She requested, or she told us there's currently a no contact and a stay away ordered in both of those cases. That he continually comes back to the residence. She has filed for a TPO. She's waiting for a court hearing. She wants no contact with the defendant, wants him to stay away from the residence. And if we can sound from the victim at the conclusion of the state's presentation, the state is requesting, based on the history and these open cases on count 1 of battery family violence, $5,000 cash bond. For count 2, civil battery signature bond through pretrial services. And on count 3 and count 4, $1,000 surety bond each. An anger awareness course, no further contact with Michelle Williams, stay away from 1175 Fair Street Southwest, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
All right, is Ms. Williams present and wishes to make a statement? All right, hearing, seeing none. Mrs. High?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is a 38-year-old father of one minor child. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He is gainfully employed, doing delivery for DoorDash. He does have the Douglas County hold, Your Honor. I understand there's some history. He's fine with the stay away and no further contact. He does understand his obligation to return to court. He's not a flight risk. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, if not a lower bond than what the state has requested.
All right. In light of the information before me, defendant will receive let me do this now. A $5,500 surety bond is $3,000 on count 1, $500 on count 2, and $1,000 on each of the remaining counts to get us to that 55. He's to stay away from the incident location, have no contact with Ms. Williams, and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, this device is dying. Miss Grace, I'm logged in on secondary device. Will you put the device I'm on out of the Zoom, please? And I'm gonna switch. It shouldn't take me more than a few seconds. I hope. All right, who do we have next?
Position 7, McCord.
I'm sorry, position 7 was Fort. So what, I'm sorry, this is who?
Oh, I'm sorry, position number 13.
13, okay, I see it now. Mr. McCord, your case is 24 CR 0000876. You're charged with obstruction. You understand, right? All right, Mr. Howard.
This is third arrest, 2015 DUI, 08 DUI. He got a hold out of the Carroll County for hit and run. Jail is the recommendation.
All right, Mr. Graham.
Yes, Your Honor. On February 19th, 2024, Jason McCord refused to obey multiple commands by an officer. Additionally, once handcuffed, he attempted to bite and headbutt Officer Brock in the arm. The state is requesting signature bond through pretrial services, anger awareness, no further violent contact with Officer McCord, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right. I'm sorry, you said no further violent contact with Officer McCord?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. In light of the information before me, Ms. Kim, I'm inclined to give your client a signature bond through the jail with that requirement that he have no further violent contact with that officer. Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, defendant will receive a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. He's to have no further violent contact with that officer and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Best of luck to you, Mr. McCord. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Excuse me, Judge, Mr. Graham, do you have the officer's name?
Yes, I do.
Please chat it to Ms. Grace.
I will send it to you in chat. No problem.
All right, who's next? Courtroom 2 is muted.
ACDC can go ahead.
Okay, who do we have at ACDC?
Position number 5, Ms. Hart.
Has Ms. Hart been interviewed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, wonderful.
And she did hear her rights.
All right. All right, Ms. Hart, your case is 24 CR 0000872. You're charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the third. You understand your rights? All right. I believe that was a yes. Mr. Howard?
Third arrest, no violence, level 1.
Okay. Mr. Graham?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place February 22nd, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute at 5655 Old National Highway in South Fulton. Upon arrival, the officer spoke with Asa, A-S-A, Moye, M-O-Y-E, who stated that his children's mother, Jenny Alvarenga, A-L-V-A-R-E-N-G-A, and his girlfriend, Tierra Hart, were involved in a physical altercation at the residence where they all live. Mr. Moya informed the officer that Ms. Hart went upstairs to confront Ms. Alvarenga about an argument she was having with him regarding picking up the children from daycare. The altercation became physical when Ms. Hart approached Ms. Alvarenga aggressively. He also advised that one minor child was present during the altercation. Ms. Alvarenga told the officer that once Ms. Hart became hostile, she pushed her away, and then Ms. Hart punched her, and the fight ensued. The officer observed bruising and lacerations on both parties. Ms. Alvarenga had bruising and lacerations to her face and neck. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services and anger awareness. No further contact with Jenny Alvarenga. Stay away from 5655 Old National Highway in South Fulton. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
All right, is Ms. Alvarenga present?
Your Honor, Ms. Alvarenga's charges were NOD'd.
Okay, so she would be, okay, understood. All right, Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is a 35-year-old mother of 3 minor children. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She is employed as a cook at the Atlanta Hawks bar at the Atlanta airport. She works there to support, her 3 children and another 2 children in the household. She does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant and states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. Your Honor, you heard that it was a dual arrest. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. She has very little criminal history and no violent history. No, I would ask no violent contact with the complaining witness and no stay away. It's her home. If a stay away has to be ordered, she would need a one-time law enforcement escort. Nothing further.
And the complaining witness cross defendant does still reside at that location?
I believe, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. What we're gonna do is defendant is gonna receive a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial services, $2,500 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2. That'll be at level 1. She is take the 1-day anger awareness course and have no contact with the complaining witness cross defendant. She's to stay away from that location should the complaining witness cross defendant still reside there. If the complaining witness has removed themselves, she can return. Otherwise, she will return one time with law enforcement to make that determination. She'll either remain or collect her items. Additionally, she's to have no drugs, no alcohol, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from defense.
All right. Best of luck to you. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Position 1, Banks.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Banks. Your case is 24 CR 000864. You're charged with battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
13 total. Last was 2017 FTA. And before that was 2012 felony obstruction. This was level 2.
Okay. Mr.
Yes,
Walker.
Your Honor, in this case, we're going to follow the recommendation of pretrial services, recommend a signature bond level 2 through pretrial services. Law enforcement was dispatched to a rooming house located at 1107 Arlington Avenue, where they spoke to the victim, Ms. Hubert Washington. He advised that he and the defendant were in a verbal disagreement that turned physical, at which point Mr. Banks, who was the defendant, punched him in the mouth. We are also asking for no weapon, drugs, or alcohol and no contact with the victim.
Okay, you're not requesting to stay away?
I'm sorry if I omitted that. We are asking for a stay away as well.
All right, would that stay away, Mr. Cook, essentially make your client homeless?
No, it would not, Your Honor.
Okay, so my inclination is to give him that level 2 signature bond through pretrial with the no contact and stay away. Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
All right, defendant will receive a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Is to take the 1-day anger awareness course, have no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from that location, and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Banks. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Number 3, Cave.
All right, good afternoon. Your case number is 24CR 0000866. You're charged with DUI and obstruction. You understand your rights?
Sure.
All
Yes.
right, Mr. Howard.
A fifth arrest. All he got is violence. 2020 battery DV. 2012 trespass conviction. 09 assault conviction. This is level 3.
Okay, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to a collision at the intersection of Flat Shoals and Old National Highway, involving a silver BMW, where it was determined that the defendant was the driver. He did have an occupant in his vehicle. The defendant did leave the scene. He was found approximately 5 minutes up the road. He was determined to be inebriated. He was arrested on the charges that are listed on the calendar. To the 1 count of DUI less safe, we are asking for a $2,000 surety. To the count of hit and run, we're asking for a $1,500 surety. And to the 3rd and final count, we are asking for a $1,000 surety. We're asking for no driving and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
All right, Mr. Cook, and it's muted at courtroom 2.
Your Honor, we have no problem with any, no driving unless he's legally licensed. As far as the other conditions, we believe, we would ask the court to, follow the pretrial recommendation and do an SOB level 3.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $3,500 surety bond, $2,000 on the DUI, $500 on the obstruction, $1,000 on the hit and run. He's not to drive unless he has a valid license issued or by the Georgia DDS or a permit. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, or weapons as a condition. All right, Mr. Cave, best of luck to you. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Position number 5, Edie.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24CR 0000868. You're charged with driving with an expired license plate and driving while your license is suspended. Do you have you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
First arrest, jail.
Okay. Unless I hear something very compelling, Mr. Graham, I think that's what we're gonna go with. Mr. Graham, please proceed.
Absolutely. Thank you, Your Honor. February 22nd, 2024, Dominique Eady was observed driving on I-85 North around exit 66, maneuvering the vehicle in an unusual way across several lanes of traffic just in front of a patrol car. The officer noticed the Maryland license plate had expired in March of 2022, conducted a traffic stop. GCIC check returned the vehicle registration as suspended, as well as Mr. Eady's Georgia driver's license. The state is recommending a signature bond through the jail, no driving without a valid license and registration, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, Mr. Cook, unless you have any objection, that is what I'm gonna do. SOB through the jail, no driving without a license and valid plate. Any objection?
No objection.
All right, defendant will receive a $3,000 SOB through the jail, $1,500 each count. He's not to drive unless he has a valid license and valid registration for the vehicle. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons as a condition. Best of luck to you, Mr. Eady. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Position number 11, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24CR 0000874. You are charged with battery family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
First arrest, jail was the recommendation.
All right. Whose case is this for the state? Mr. Graham, please proceed.
My apologies, Your Honor. This incident took place on February 22nd, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute at 900 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard Northwest, apartment 331. Upon arrival, officers met with the leasing office manager at the complex, who advised that Queen Amina Chijide, Chijide, had called the office to let them know she was being assaulted by her boyfriend, Adrian Lamb. The manager escorted the officer to apartment 331, where Miss Chijide answered the door with visible marks and scratches around her neck. She told the officer that Mr. Lim had pushed her in the chest when she asked him to turn down the music. At a second request to turn on the music, he grabbed her from behind, began squeezing her in a bear hug before placing her in a headlock. They both fell to the ground during the struggle. But we have been in contact with the victim, Your Honor. And she did inform that they are in a relationship. They do live together at the incident location. They share no children. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated this is not the first time that Mr. Lam has been violent toward her. And I believe, Your Honor, that the person that was kicked out of the Zoom meeting at the beginning of court is the victim in this case. I think she may have just not been muted and was probably talking to someone in the background.
Okay, if we can get her back, I will hear from her.
It was a
but that-
misunderstanding. Thank you.
Even still, it was not, that is still not appropriate court behavior.
I understand. But if she can
Absolutely.
come back, please.
All right. Is she, can we get, is, someone able to get her back on the line?
Just while we're doing that, she says she's not in fear of the defendant. She'd like to have contact, and she's okay for him to return to the residence. We are.
Oh, well, you can leave her in the waiting room then.
I'm sure. All right. Is she back?
Okay, I believe the victim advocate is reaching out to her now. To have her come back in.
I'll hear your argument, Mr. Ty, while we wait for the victim, alleged victim.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 28 years old. As you heard, this was his very first arrest. He has been a Georgia resident for over 3 years now. He works as a videographer and a cameraman for the last 12 years. He does firmly deny the allegations as stated in the warrant and states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. Your Honor, I would ask for a signature bond through the jail and no violent contact, as the complaining witness has stated that she is not afraid of him and she would want further contact with him. And of course, I would object to a stay away, not that the state, I don't think, asked for a stay away, but I would object to a stay away. And he states that, you know, all of his furniture, work equipment, everything is in the home. So, and nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, if you'd like to make a statement, please raise your right hand and unmute your screen. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
What would you like to tell me?
Pardon?
What would you like to tell me?
I was basically just going to add to what I told the senior victim advocate. I basically just joined to basically say, yeah, that, I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing, like, obviously the other end of everything. Yeah, no violent contact. I feel like going forward, yeah, I'm not afraid. So yeah, I don't think it would be, I feel like after this, yeah, I don't think anything is gonna, happen going forward. So that's just all I had to say. Yeah, his stuff here, everything is where, where it's left safe, so.
All right, defendant's gonna receive a $2,000 surety bond. He's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. Is there anything additional?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, was it a $2,000 surety bond? This is
It is.
It's his first arrest.
All right. I appreciate your position, but that's what it'll be. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Number 12.
Wait, can I have a question?
Okay, you can ask his attorney.
Yeah, in terms of what is that? Like, what is an surety bond?
Okay,
Like,
his attorney will give you a call, all right? Best of luck.
oh, okay.
All right, who do we have next?
Number 12, Lewis.
All right, Mr. Lewis, your case is 24 CR 0000875. In this case, you're charged with driving on an expired license plate. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am, correct.
All right, Mr. Howard.
About 43.
I can't hear you.
Counted about 43. All come out of Florida. Last arrest was 2022, battery conviction, 2021, cocaine conviction. 2020 probation, another 2020 battery conviction. 2014 license plate violation conviction. 2013 no driver's license conviction.
Okay, so that's something we're doing consistently. Mr. Graham?
Yes, Your Honor. Also on February 22nd, 2024, Demetrius Lewis was found in control of a silver Jeep Compass with an expired tag, expired on November 23rd. This was around 29 Peachtree Center Avenue Northeast. After a GCIC check, his Florida driver's license was also reported suspended since 2016 for failure to pay. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, no driving without a license or registration, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, despite the history, I'm inclined to give your client a signature bond through the jail and require that he not drive unless he has a valid license and license plate. Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, defendant will receive a $2,500 signature bond through the jail with the conditions of no driving without a valid license and no driving unless he has a valid plate. All right, best of luck to you. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Judge, there was only one charge on the calendar, but there's two charges on booking. So the driver while license suspended is not on the calendar.
What's the so driving while license is suspended? Was that charge NOD?
No, Your Honor, an accusation was filed.
Okay, so we'll add that one to the, we'll put $1,000 signature bond through the jail, so he gets a total of a 3,000 signature bond.
It was 2,500 on this.
Okay, 20, I can't read my own writing. You're right, that's a 5. Okay, so it'll be 3,500. 25 on count 1, 1,000 count 2.
Okay,
Expired license. Okay. I think.
yes, it's
Driving
driving
license
license, expired license.
All right, who do we have next?
Condition number 14.
All right, Mr. Mohammed, your case is 24 CR 0000877. You're charged with simple battery. Do you understand your rights?
No.
All right, Mr. Howard.
18 total. Last arrest was on the 6th of this month for simple battery and obstruction. 2023 simple assault trespass. 2022 battery obstruction conviction. 2022 obstruction battery trespass. 2022 simple assault.
That's good. I think I got it. Mr. Walker.
1 second, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the warrant for this case. Nonetheless, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched to the incident location where where they met with the victim is Connie Marby. It's my understanding that she is the grandmother of the defendant. He did become violent and he threw a bowl of soup in her face. We are asking for a $1,500 surety bond. A no contact with the victim is Connie Marby. A stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and I will get the incident location to the court momentarily.
All right, is Miss Marby present, wishes to make a statement? All right, Miss Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 25 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia. Your Honor, he prefers to have a contact with his grandmother since they are related, and however, he has no objection to stay away and have no contact if that is necessary for him to get a signature on bond through a pretrial, even level 3. He needs to go back home though, because he has all his personal belongings there. So we would like to request for a one-time law enforcement officer escorted visit to retrieve his personal belongings. And he has not been able to get a job after he got out of the jail because of his past history. He was not able to obtain any employment at this point. So he's qualified for public defender services. He graduated from high school successfully, and he's planning to go to aviation maintenance school so that way he can have his life together. We would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial.
All right, defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from that location. He can return one time with law enforcement to get any items. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition.
And Your Honor, that location is 2889 Old Knoll Drive in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. Best of luck with you to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, who do we have next?
This will conclude courtroom 2. We don't have anyone else here present.
Is 15 a waiver? What happened to Romero?
That's gonna be, they were on the counter yesterday, and it's gonna be a consent bond that's being sent to you momentarily, Your Honor.
Okay, that works. So I guess we will take up the waive cases. We'll do position 2. The case of Milton Brown, 24 CR 0000865, in which he's charged with theft by receiving. Mr. Howard?
33 total. He's on probation, possession of a controlled substance in a drug-free commercial zone. That's until 2029. Also on probation for ag battery. 2020, 2021 probation, 2017 escape conviction, parole violation.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
I'm sorry, I was sending that consent order over. What position, what case are we on?
Position 2, where he's charged with theft by receiving.
What's the defendant's name? Is it Ty?
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown. Got it. So in this case, law enforcement was dispatched in 98 William Holmes Border Drive. I believe this is some type of group home or a homeless shelter, but essentially he stole the book bag of another resident. That resident's name is ANHDA Rohit, ROHIT. We are asking for a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, and it's SOB through the jail.
Okay, I'm inclined to give that in light of the information, Mr. Cook. Would a stay away result in your client being without housing?
It's not my understanding. My client listed his address at Stewart Avenue. This is not a Stewart Avenue address. Is that correct?
No, that's not the address
Okay.
I had.
No, it should not, Your Honor.
All right, defendant is gonna receive the $6,000 signature bond through the jail. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from that location, have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Anything additional? All right, hearing none, we'll go to position 10. The next waiver case, I believe, wasn't 10 waived? Yes, that's Samira Jones, 24 CR 0000873, and when she's charged with battery and criminal trespass. Can I have that history, Mr. Howard?
20 total. This is her 4th arrest this year. She was arrested January 30th, trespass, disorderly conduct. January 21st, obstruction, trespass. January 10th, trespass. 2023, trespass, FTA, felony obstruction that she was indicted on in Cobb County. 2022, trespass. 2021, battery DV.
All right. Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. So these incidents also took place on 2 occasions. The first, February 8th of 2024, detention officer Alesia Aleysia Harden was attacked by Samira Jones at the East Point City Jail, 2727 East Point Street. She stated that, Ms. Harden stated that Ms. Jones repeatedly punched her with a closed fist and pulled her hair. The interviewing officer observed lacerations to Ms. Harden's face and a large scratch on both sides of her face and neck. And on November 23rd, 2023, law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute at 6285 Littleton Drive in Union City. Upon arrival, they met with Walter Glass. He told officers that his stepdaughter, Ms. Jones, had come to his home violating a criminal trespass warning. That warning was issued on October 10th, 2023. He told officers that Ms. Jones had threatened to shoot him before running into the open garage of their home. She left when he called the police. Our office has been in contact with Mr. Glass. He states that he is a stepfather of the defendant, confirmed the events in the warrant, stated that the defendant does not live at the residence, that she comes to the property, destroying the home repeatedly, variety of instances. And I do believe that the mother of the defendant is on Zoom, but she's not listed as a victim on the warrant, but only a witness. The state is recommending on count 1 of battery, $1,000 surety bond, anger awareness, no further violent contact with detention officer, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. On count 2, criminal trespass, signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with Walter Glass, stay away from 6285 Littleton Drive, Union City, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, she does suffer from some MH.
Yes, she does.
That's why her mother is on the line. I needed to speak with her just to see where she is with her MH treatment, and I do believe that she would like to make a statement.
Her mother is not the victim here, and I know that she may have conveyed that information to you. So if there's anything that I need to hear, I prefer to hear it from you.
Okay.
So let's keep going. But I do appreciate her mother being here today.
Okay, Your Honor. My client is, I'm sorry to do, is 31 or 30 years old, Your Honor. She's young. She does suffer from several severe MH issues, and her mother tells me that that she is in treatment at Kaiser, and her mother tells me that she does believe that she will successfully continue that treatment if, you know, and that can be a bond condition to continue with any you know, MH treatment plan that she currently has. Your Honor, the incident date was February 8th. It's February 23rd. I understand, you know, that the state has asked for a surety bond, but it's been 15 days since the incident and she's been in custody the entire time. So I would ask for a signature bond through the jail, only because I don't believe that, you know, any services that pretrial services offers, like anger awareness or anything like that, is useful to my client. I don't believe that she is a danger to the public. I do believe, and her mom has stated as well, that she can continue and get back on track with her MH treatment, which is what she needs.
Will this stay away make her homeless, Mr. Ty?
Well, she's been living in her car.
Okay, so she doesn't really reside at that address.
No, Your Honor.
All right.
But her mother says that she can live at that address if she continues with the MH treatment.
No, I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I must.
Okay. All right. Defendant is going to receive $1,000 surety bond, 500 on each count. She is to comply with all MH treatment. She is additionally to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location. She's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further.
All right. Best of luck to you. Oh, she's not here. Well, please express my best wishes to her, Mr. Ty. All right, we're going to go to the next wave case, 24 CR 000879. The case of Nicholas Todd, where he's charged with theft by shoplifting. Can I have a history, Mr. Howard?
25 total. 2020 trespass, damage, battery, cruelty, conviction. 2015 ag assault, cruelty, conviction. 2015 probation. 2015 robbery, participation in criminal street gang activity, conviction.
All right, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to the Family Dollar located at 3721 Campbellton Road, where they met with the staff. The defendant was observed shoplifting at the location. He had passed all points of sale. We are asking for $1,000 surety bond to stay away from the incident location. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
What was the value of what he took, Mr. Walker?
I would have to add it up. It was a few items. If you want to go to council first, and I can give you an answer.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to know, is he taking necessities? That does matter to the court. All right, Mrs. Hyde?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe it was detergent and a trash can, Your Honor, but my client does deny the allegations, but that's what I saw in the warrant. I also believe that he has paid his bond, but I just didn't want to leave it to chance. He has COVID, so that's why his appearance is waived.
Okay. Just in case.
I have no objection to the $1,000 surety bond. But I mean, I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services level 1 though. And I think his bond's already been paid. That's
Okay. I will give him the $1,000 surety. He's to stay away from that location, have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. Does that complete the entire calendar?
Judge, I'm sorry, position number 5, can we go back to him? The clerk stating that Mr. Edie had 2 driver license suspended on bookend.
So he has 3 charges and not 2?
Yes, ma'am, that's what she said.
Okay, so we'll put another $1,000 signature through the jail then. So
All
he
right.
should have a total 4,000 SOB through the jail.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I believe that concludes the calendar. Miss Grace, will you review it for me?
Yes, but go back to number 5 for me, Judge, so I can make sure I get the,
There was an additional driving while license suspended charge.
so you have 1515, you want to put 1,000 on that? What you saying you want to do?
I'm sorry, say that again.
For position number 5, can you give me that again since it's another charge to be added?
On the additional charge is another $1,000.
So it's gonna be a 4,000?
Is that what yes,
Yeah, 'cause-
that right, 15, and then 1,000. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
No problem.
I'm sorry, I got confused. Yes, ma'am.
No problem. Position number 1 is a 5,000 pretrial level 2. Position number 2 is a 6,000 SOB through jail. Position 3 is a $3,500 good bond. Position 4 was released. Position 5 was a 3,000 SOB through the jail. Well, no, let me change that right now. 3.
Is that 3 or 4?
It's gonna be 4. I just said, let me change it. I changed it on my order. I didn't change it on my calendar. Position number 6 is a 3,500 pretrial. Position 7 is a $5,500 good bond. Position 8 is a 5,000 SOB through the jail. Position 9 is a $3,500 pretrial. Position 10 is a $1,000 good bond. Position 11 is a $2,000 good bond. Position 12 is a 3,500 SOB through the jail. Position 13 is a 3,000 SOB through the jail. Position 14 is a $1,500 good bond. Position 15, we're waiting on a order.
I guess. You said something about a consent bond.
Consent order, okay. Position 16 was released. Position 17, $1,000 good bond. Position 18, $5,000 good bond. Any questions, concern, or comments?
See y'all later.
All right, hearing none, we'll be in recess till tomorrow, at which time I'll be presiding.
Sorry, Judge Williams and Ian, I was gonna write you an email, Ian, but can I send the consent bond for Richard Nelson to you to sign today? Judge Law was supposed to sign it yesterday, but they don't have it here.
That should be fine.
Ian is gone.
Can you say okay then and then go?
That's fine. That's fine, Mr.
Okay, thank you. Have a good weekend.
We can always give them a signature bond through the jail, Mr. Walker, if you
It's
don't.
fine. Whatever you send, it's fine. I saw it. It's perfectly fine.
Thank you. I'll send it right now.
Mr. Walker, are you sending the consent bond for position number 15 as well?
Holder already, PD holder prepared and sent it out.
And an acquisition for Lewis.
Oh, what about, did we ever get a number for the other young
Fleming.
lady? The
So I
cross.
sent in I sent in an accusation for Fleming. What's going on with Lewis?
I don't know.
Driving while license suspended and revoked. I didn't see it in the email.
Hey, we gonna NOD that, okay? As you
Driving while license suspended and revoked.
Okay, so I need to go back. So what we gonna do?
because they had three charges.
No, two.
Two.
Lewis had two and Edie had the three. So you're gonna NOD the one for Lewis and then go back to the
Is it a suspended
$2,500
license?
jail.
For Lewis, is a suspended license.
Yes.
Lewis had a expired plate, and apparently there's a second charge. Why don't we just give him $1,000 SOB to the jail?
That's
in
fine.
addition.
We
that's
did.
easy.
We did. He's asking for the accusation. We did already, Judge. It's a total of 3,500 SOB through the jail.
Okay, well,
Jordan was asking for the accusation.
Oh, for the accusation to be.
Hey, Graham, can you do that for me?
Yeah, the accusation should have been sent over, but I'll send it again.
Apparently no one received it. It went into the sea of forgetfulness, Mr. Graham. Please send again. Okay, I'm leaving, even if you all are not. Take care. Miss Grace, I'll sign those orders shortly. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Although, I should close this.